Hello, I'm Laura Marks and I'm a Jewish woman and I live in London.
And hi everybody, my name's Nighat Qureshi and I live in London as well. And I'm a Muslim woman.
So as we said, I'm a Jewish woman, Nighat's a Muslim woman, and there are so many things we have in common. I mean, remarkable amounts that Jews and Muslims have in common. I mean, first of all, we're both immigrant communities. We both have heritages that come from elsewhere. We have very strict rules about what we eat. We have rules about how we bring people up. We're actually also very patriarchal, by which I mean mostly it's men who have a bigger say than women in our communities, which is a whole issue in itself. We have rituals, we have festivals, we have the same prophets, we have so many similarities, and those are ways that we can build relationships.
One of the things that really struck me is how close we are and the parallels between the two religions. And the other thing is that even though we have restrictions within our religions, we still manage it, and they are the same or very similar between both religions. So even down to the blessings and the words that you say when you start the day, when you start your prayers and things like that, they are all very similar. And it's remarkable that we can actually say to each other many things that overlap and are very intertwined with both the religions.
And you know, the name of our organization is Nisa Nashim, and that means women in Arabic and women in Hebrew. And we chose the name because even our language is the same. So there's so many ways in which we can connect. And there are many more ways that we can connect than ways in which we can disconnect.
And the good news is that we still follow our particular religions really truly to the letter, and also therefore we still can still be friends, because we know that the similarities overlap a lot. Some of maybe not so much on the food perhaps, but maybe sometimes in other areas. So it's been great for that.
Well, neither of us eat pork.
No, we don't. Both of us don't eat pork.
And there are other restrictions on what we eat, and we're both used to having rules about what we eat.
Yeah, and abiding by them, and also making sure that we adhere to them strictly in as much as we can, living in the UK. So we are not in a Muslim country, nor are we in a Jewish country as such. So we are trying to also adapt to our religion being here in the UK. So you may have been hearing already about the Middle East and what's going on in Gaza. Fortunately, between us, as a Muslim woman and as a Jewish woman, we also have some discussions about it. And it's also okay to have discussions about it. Some points of view on what I think should have happened in the Middle East may not be the same as what other people think should have happened in the Middle East.
Yes, so as a Jewish woman, I'm more likely to have different views from Nighat. But what's important to us is that, first of all, we listen to each other's perspectives, because it's very easy to sort of get bedded down in your own view, to listen to each other's perspectives and to recognize it's a complex conflict going on in the Middle East. And there's no right and wrongs, but just listening to each other is really important. And I'm interested to hear what other people have got to say about the conflict.
Because some of the information that we receive may not have come from sources that we can believe in. And it's always very important to find out, what you believe in is the truth. So when you're talking to people and you're having conversations with people, you can actually elaborate and get more details. And you should also be firm in your opinions, so that when somebody is talking to you to maybe influence you or persuade you or give you false misinformation, you are very knowledgeable and you know exactly what is right and wrong from your perspective. And it's also okay to have a perspective. It does not mean that either you are wrong or the other person is wrong.
Yeah, and last thing on that, I think, is that we do get set in our views, and people get very angry about their views and very emotional about their views. And actually, we can still be friends.
You can. So you may be wondering, oh, well, how do I get to know more about being a Muslim woman or a Muslim person or a Jewish person? So one of the things that, normally you could have perhaps looked into is meeting other Muslims or Jewish people, maybe in your circle of friends, in your, wider networks. The two things that, struck me when I was growing up was our school outreach program, and also Scouts, actually. So what we used to do is go along to our local church or masjid or mosque or synagogue and learn about the religions as well. So that's an ideal opportunity if you wanted to learn more about the other side of the other religions.
You know, in the UK, there are about 15 times more Muslims than Jews. So if you are somebody Muslim watching this, you may well not have ever met somebody Jewish, and you may never meet somebody Jewish unless you go out of your way to meet somebody Jewish. So if there's a local synagogue or a local Jewish community, then I'm sure they would love to have you or your school come and visit. Otherwise, there's lots of resources online. You can find out more about Judaism that way. And similarly for Jewish people, you know, the Jewish community lives in very small parts of the country, lives in sort of tightly knit communities, and often doesn't really meet Muslims either. So the main thing we would say to you is it's wonderful to know somebody from Muslim communities, from different communities from our own. It really enriches my life that I know Nighat and I know other Muslim people, and I couldn't encourage you to do it more.
Absolutely, and it's a great opportunity as well to learn about other people, learn what it matters to them, what makes them, you know, tick. And it's also helpful for you as well, so that when you're ever stuck in any kind of conversations with anybody, you've got a reference point. So like, I know that I can very easily say, well, my friend Laura has said this about the Jewish religion, so I don't know what you're talking about. So it's really helpful, and I think, you know, I highly recommend it.
So we hope you've enjoyed listening to us and hearing a little bit about how Jews and Muslims can get on. And one thing I would leave you with is our similarities are so much greater than our differences. And if we can celebrate our similarities and respect each other's differences, we will get a long way further.
Don't ever feel that, you know, the other person is right or wrong. Just be open, just be curious, just be understanding and like learn about other people. And being, you know, Jewish or Muslim, yeah, that's great. But there's a whole world out there, and, you know, we need to be more friendlier, more understanding with each other to cope with whatever else is going on around us. I hope you've enjoyed meeting Laura and Nighat.
Thank you.
Thank you.